It's report card time with Dave Dameshek, and this is the final report card here for the Cardinals. Their 2014 season, well, they started 9-1 before the tailspin to end the season. Suspensions hurt them. Injuries crippled them, especially Carson Palmer's. So let's start with the quarterback, Dave.
Yeah, such a shame because, like you say, the story of the 2014 season has been injuries and overcoming most of them. They couldn't overcome the injury, though, to Carson Palmer and Drew Stanton, and that's why I'm giving a grade of incomplete. And no, that's not a reference to Ryan Lindley's attempt to throw the football in a pro football game. Rather, how can we really beat up Ryan Lindley too much? He was on the street. It's not really fair to make jokes at his expense, and you really wonder what might have happened had Carson Palmer been able to stay on the field, or for that matter, even Drew Stanton, if this team would still be in the mix as we go into title game Sunday.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, after losing Palmer, they went 10 quarters without scoring a touchdown. So that leads us to the wide receivers, and obviously they suffered from the instability at the quarterback position.
Yeah, and what we really saw here, whether it was Carson Palmer or any of the other guys, it was really a passing of the torch. I guess we've heard a lot of that about Peyton Manning passing it to Andrew Luck, but Larry Fitzgerald passed it on primarily to Michael Floyd, who really is emerging as a legit number one there, although he does need to get more consistent for next year. I gave the overall pass catchers a grade of B, and a big part of that is that guy right there, John Brown. Again, not a guy who you saw every week making big plays, but he did make a handful of them that really made the Cardinals one of the better stories for the majority of the regular season.
Yeah, I loved watching him. The only thing I want him to improve upon, though, is the drops. He had a little bit of a case of the dropsies this year. All right, how about we go to the running game? There was a 7-game stretch, Dave, where they were without a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, this was the disappointment for all the good storylines up and into December, at least in the regular season for this team. Andre Ellington's failure to emerge. I know he was banged up the majority of the year, and we can put it on that. But there was a lot of buzz in the preseason from the coaching staff that this guy was capable of maybe going for 2K, which is obvious hyperbole. But either way, he didn't achieve what the Cardinals needed him to do. And, you know, listen, he's still a young guy in 2015.
So you went with a D+ there.
D+.
Okay, D+. Now, the defense is what everybody talked about with this team all season long. The only thing is the rushing defense towards the end of the season wasn't that strong, but they were still overall really good this unit.
I know. I'm giving them an A overall. Listen, again, we talk about the injuries at quarterback, but the story, again, for the majority of this very positive 2014 season was the ability of the defense to continue to dominate games in spite of losing some key pieces. I figured, as did a lot of other people, this defense was done when they started to lose big names to free agency, injury, suspension, and otherwise, and yet they kept on going.
The depth was so deep.
Yeah. Kudos to Todd Bowles primarily for that one. I give the defense an A, and that, of course, leads us into coaching grades.
Yes. So Bruce Arians, as you said, he really rolled with the punches, and so did the rest of the coaching staff.
Yeah, the Kangol guy gets an A. Todd Bowles gets an A. In fact, Bruce Arians will probably be named the coach of the year. I don't even know if he was the best coach on the Arizona staff. Like I say, Todd Bowles is going to wind up as a head coach somewhere. And then be on the lookout for a guy who the Steelers just pseudo-retired, not unlike Bruce Arians a couple of years ago when the Steelers announced Arians was retiring, and now look at him as a head coach on a good team. I suspect that Dick LeBeau will land in the desert along with his old pal Bruce Arians in retirement / coaching a good football team in 2015.
I like that prediction. All right, how about your final grade for this team?
It's hard to put them down too much because of injuries. I'm going to give it an A-. Obviously, it didn't end the way they wanted it to. The football gods, for whatever reason, decided to, once again, prevent a team from hosting a Super Bowl. It really looked like there was a decent chance of that happening maybe 4-6 weeks or so ago. Not going to happen. A-, though, overall for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, all right, so let's recap your grades here, Dave, and we'll take a look with the quarterback, but that's incomplete. Then you have a B, a D+ for the running backs, and then A- for the final grade of the 2014 season. They tied the most wins in franchise history, and this was a team that came out to a surprising start, 9-1. It shocked everybody for the most part.
Well, I mean, the bottom line to wrap it up, IBDA.
Yes.
That was the way the letter grades. That's the word.
That is true.
IBDA.
I didn't even notice that. That's a good point, Dave. Yeah, the Cardinals, they've had top 10 scoring defenses in the last 2 seasons. For all the team report cards, you can check them all out at NFL Now.
IBDA.